Hello, are you ready for lesson 92? Today we're going to learn about C in scent, when C doesn't make its usual sound. The thing you will need today for this lesson is a pencil with a nice clean eraser so that you can very lightly touch your computer screen without leaving any marks. If you don't have a pencil like that, please pause the video and get one. Poor C, he's the only letter with no sound of his own. You remember we talked about that way back when we were learning the alphabet? So because he doesn't have a sound of his own, K, who kind of likes to stay home a lot and doesn't always want to go out with all the other alphabet letters, told C, "You can borrow my sound." But K was a little bit afraid that C would want to borrow his sound all the time, so they made a deal. And K said, "I will come out when vowels I and E are out, and you can come out when vowels A, O, and U are out." So, remember this page from lesson 44? K comes before I and E, C before the other three, A, O, U. And remember we said that even is true when it's SK or SC. K comes before the I and the E, and C before the other three, A, O, and U. And also, C is allowed to borrow K's sound when he comes in front of a consonant, like CK when they're out together, CL, CR, and CT, as in duck, clam, crow, and act. So we're used to C saying the K sound, but what happens when C comes out and there's an E or there's an I? Well, he can't borrow K's sound anymore. They had a deal. So he borrows S's sound. And S is so glad for C to borrow his sound because, you know, we use S all the time. Every time we want to show that we have two or more of something, like one hat, two hats, we get out an S and we use it. And so S says, "I am just out all the time. It would be nice not to have to be in a word once in a while." So he lets C borrow his sound in front of E and I. So C will say S, like in cent. A penny is worth 1 cent. Let's sound out some of these words together and get used to this new thing. S, L, sell. S, ent, cent. S, inch, cinch. Do you know what it means to cinch something? It means to tie it up. A lot of times we say we cinch a saddle on a horse. Okay, so that word is cinch. Try to remember that because I'm sure you're going to find it in your reading one day. We sometimes use it another way too. We say, "Oh, that was a cinch." And in that case we mean, "Oh, that was very, very easy." Alright, let's look at this next row. Let's sound these out. Notice there's an E on the end, a silent E, so these vowels will all be long. Ready? Ace, face. Ace, lace. Ace, place. Ace, race. Let's read that row again. Face, lace, place, race. Now underneath here in gray, I wanted to show you that there are 3 words where it's A-S-E. But most of the time, if you have to spell a word and you say, "Oh, is it A-C-E or A-S-E?" If it's not one of these 3 words, it's probably going to be A-C-E for spelling. Even though base and case and face, the end sounds the same. Those are the only 3 with S that you're likely to read very soon. All the rest will have A-C-E, so that will help you know what to choose when you're spelling. Let's look at the next row here. Long vowels again. You ready? Ice, ice. Ice, mice. Ice, nice. Ice, rice. But look at these words in gray. When we have I-S-E, this isn't ice too. This is rise. The S is sounding like a Z here. The same thing here for wise. It's not weiss, it's wise. Okay, so if you hear ice at the end of a word, it's going to be I-C-E every time. Okay? Now let's look at this. These words are a little bit longer. There's little different kinds of vowels in them, so let's sound them out carefully. Notice there's two consonants here, so this E is just making this C say S. It is not making this E long. There's two in between, so this is going to be short. Ready? Fence, fence, force, force, juice, juice, ounce, ounce. An ounce is one part of a pound. It's just a little bit. A letter usually weighs about an ounce, a letter in an envelope. All right, let's read these one more time. Ready? Fence, force, juice, ounce. All right, we have 6 more new words that are, again, just a little bit longer, but they're not hard or tricky if you just sound them out carefully. Ready? Ants, chance, glance, glance, ince, prince, ince, sense, choice, choice, voice, voice. Good reading. Now get your pencil ready. Let's look at this sentence here. Let's read it together. That used to be a blank pot. Let's read it one more time a little faster. That used to be a blank pot. Now, which one of these words would best finish that sentence? Take your pencil and very lightly touch it to the screen to vote for the word that you think would best finish the sentence. Is your pencil touching the word nice? If so, you got it right. Good job. Let's read the sentence with the word in there. That used to be a nice pot. Afraid now it's kind of broken, isn't it? All right, let's look at these two sentences. We have 2 words here. Let's sound them out together. Ache, fake, and ace, face. Remember, when C comes in front of E, it says S. Okay, now let's read these sentences together and then we'll vote on which word should go in this first sentence, and then we'll vote on which word should go in this second sentence here. She made a blank when she ate the hot. Let's sound out this new word right here. Spices. Spices. Okay, let's read the sentence again. She made a blank when she ate the hot spices. All right, which word would best go in that sentence? Vote with your pencil. Did you choose face? If you did, you're right. Face should go in that sentence. Let's read the sentence with the word in there. She made a face when she ate the hot spices. All right, now let's look at this second set of 2 sentences. Let's read the first one. That rose is real. Let's read the next one. It is not a blank rose. Now, check to make sure. Don't just say, oh, I used face, so I'll use the other word and put it in there without checking. Okay, let's put it in and read it and see if that word does make sense. It is not a fake rose. Yes, that makes sense. You should always check your work. That brings us to the end of today's lesson on C when it comes in front of E or I and says S, like in scent. So take your time, pay attention, and do a great job. Have a good day.